Yo, what's poppin', guys, and welcome to another Scratch tutorial. Today, we are going to be doing top-down car physics. So, if you're as ready as I am to get started, we will get into it. Something cool about this tutorial is that it will also teach you how to do skids. If you skid, it'll leave a little skid trail. It's pretty easy. We are going to deal a lot with physics. Thank you, ErnieParke. And let's get into it. So, first thing we're going to want to do is delete our little cat guy. And we're going to open a new sprite and we'll just call it car. Okay, we'll zoom in and we have to make a little bit of a car sprite now. Now, truth be told, I'm no expert on this. But I do know how to make some sick wheels. That's a lie, I don't. We're just going to make it a really, really bad looking car. We'll do like that, yeah. Okay, let me show you how to make these sick gains in your car. We'll do this. Oh yeah. This is gonna look epic. Yes, and then we just delete these. Look, now the car looks like that. So now what we do is watch this. This one's important. This one's important. Watch this. Boom. Windshield. Bam. What's that? You want to add some epic stripe? I'll show you how to add some epic stripe. Boom. Epic stripe. Look at that. Look at that. Honestly flawless. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, but once you get your little car sprite down, then what you're gonna want to do is make your skid. So, what I'm going to do, I just realized I forgot our little tires. We want to make our tires stick out. This will help in making the skids too. So tire. Oh man. We'll do this. Yes. Try to line it up as best as possible. Yes, right there. And then line it up pretty well. We're going to grab all of these tires by holding down shift and clicking them all. And then we're moving back just so they're down there. Then I'm also going to grab these back too. And we'll call this one car. We'll make a new sprite and paste the two wheels and don't move them. And we'll call this the skid. Now, if you wanted to take the front two as well and also put them on your skid, you definitely can do that. I'm just going to do the back ones though, but you can definitely do the front ones as well. So that's all you'll need. Now we can get started on the code. So what we're going to do is grab a when I receive green flag. So when I receive green flag, we're going to create a couple of variables. So with physics, and at least how a car works, we're going to make a forwards/backwards variable. Going to make an x velocity, a y velocity, an angular velocity, an angular difference. Whoa. Okay, a velocity difference, there, and an acceleration difference. Okay, fantastic. While we're at it, we're gonna make a few more. Well, actually, we'll make more as we get to them. That's just what we're gonna need from the get-go. So what we're gonna do off the start, we're gonna grab a set. We are going to set our forwards backwards to 0. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see a little better. Forwards backwards to 0. X velocity to 0. Y velocity to 0, oh sorry, 0.02. We are going to set our angular velocity to 0. We are going to set our angular difference to 0. we're going to set our velocity difference to 0. Wait, hold up. Whoa. Did I just... Angular difference. Yes, angular velocity, angular difference, velocity difference. Sorry, I just had a stroke there. And then acceleration difference. Wait, difference. No. Acceleration direction. What am I talking about? Not difference. Direction. Okay. There we go. That's how we are going to start this off. Now we're going to go straight into a forever loop right underneath that. And now inside of this forever loop, what we're going to do is you're going to grab an if-else statement and plop it right inside. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to use the arrow keys for my movement. You don't have to. You can use WSD if you want, or anything really. I'm just going to use my arrow keys. So if up arrow pressed, we are going to do set forwards backwards to 1. Else we're just going to duplicate this, right click it and hit if you have Scratch add-ons. Then do down arrow forwards backwards to -0.4. And these numbers can be fiddled with if you'd like. These are just what I find to be the best looking ones. So underneath that, we are going to grab another if else, put it under our first if else. We are going to do our left arrow, so I'll just duplicate this and put it in there. Left arrow, we will now make another variable. You will call this variable turning amount. Okay. We will set that turning amount to come to your operators, grab a multiplication bubble and put it in there. Grab a I don't want to say minus, subtraction bubble and put it in the first bubble of the multiplication. Put a -10 in the first bubble, and put your turning amount bubble into the second one, and then the second bubble of the multiplication do 0.7. Now I'll duplicate this and set it to just a normal if. Well, actually no. We want to keep that as an if else. Set this to right arrow. Set the turning amount to 10 minus turning amount times 1.7. Or set turning amount to 0 minus turning amount times 1.7. Fantastic. Now what we'll do is we'll come to control and we'll grab an if and we'll put it underneath that else statement. So it looks like that. And inside this one, we are going to grab our OR. We will then I'll duplicate one of these, if up arrow pressed or down arrow pressed. Oops, excuse me. Or down arrow pressed. We're going to make a new variable. We're going to call it angle. And we will then set our angle to come to your motion and grab direction and put it right in there. Then we'll come to control, grab an if-else statement, put it right underneath that angle. We will take our if key left arrow pressed. We will come to our variables, grab change, and we will change our angle, right? Come to your operators, grab a multiplication bubble, put it in there. And we'll multiply it by turning amount multiplied by forward/backwards. Else, set this to a normal one and do right. If right arrow pressed, we'll set angle to turning amount times forwards backwards, or change angle by turning amount forwards backwards, just like that. Okay, now right underneath this, right underneath these, what we will do, I'll actually take that out just so I can actually place it in the right spot. We are going to set right there, and put that back in. We are going to set a new variable called acceleration. Okay, we're going to make one called y acceleration. We're going to make one called acceleration magnitude, And I'll make another one called velocity magnitude. I'll make another one called air drag. Okay. So, again, we'll start by setting X acceleration to, and now here's where we get a little bit crazy. We're going to grab a multiplication bubble and put it in there just like that. Right? We'll grab another multiplication and put it in the first part. Okay. Then we will grab a abs of, put it in the first bubble of the second multiplication that we placed down, and change abs to sin or sine in geometry, or trigonometry, I guess it could also be in. We'll grab our angle and put it in the other side of the of. Second part of the second multiplication here, we'll put 0.6. And then we'll put forwards backwards into the final bubble. Okay. We'll duplicate what we just made and set X acceleration to Y acceleration. And instead of sine, we'll do cosine of angle times 1.6 times forwards backwards. I will just grab out a new set. And we will set our acceleration magnitude. And now things are going to get a little confusing here, but I believe in you. I believe you can hold in there. We're going to come to our operators, grab our abs of, set it to sine, or as it looks like it says, sin, but it is sin. Oh, no, sorry, not sin, squirt, or square root. But again, it looks like squirt, but it's square root. Of, we will grab an addition symbol, put it in there, and then put multiplication symbols inside of each addition side. Now, put X acceleration into the first part, and then X acceleration again, and then Y acceleration, Y acceleration. Just like that. We'll grab a new set, and we'll make this velocity magnitude. So, set velocity magnitude to. We're going to duplicate what we just put here, put it in there. So, square root of acceleration, acceleration. Except we are going to do X velocity, X velocity, Y velocity, Y velocity. Just like that. Now, we will set our air drag to grab a multiplication, put it inside, and grab another multiplication and put it in the second bubble. Okay? Okay. Inside of this first bubble, we'll put 0.01. Then we will put velocity magnitude in the second bubble, and another velocity magnitude in the third bubble. All right, awesome, doing good. You're holding in there well. I'm proud of you. Now, we will come to our control, grab an if-else, put it underneath that set air drag. We will come to operators, grab an equal symbol, and put it in there. We'll put a 0 for the second bubble. And we'll come into our variables and put X acceleration at the first bubble. So if acceleration equals 0, we will then set our acceleration direction. And again, it's going to get a little complex here. But again, I believe in you. I think you can do it. Okay, I think you can pull through. We're going to come to operators, grab an addition symbol and put it here. Grab a multiplication symbol, put it in the first bubble of the addition. Right? Then grab of the addition. Then grab a division symbol, put it in the first bubble of the multiplication. Okay? Now we'll grab an abs of, put it in the first bubble of the division. Come to our variables, grab an X acceleration, and put it inside of the abs right here. Okay? Then we will, inside of the second, let's put the second bubble of the division, we'll put another X acceleration. Okay? We'll put a 90 in the second part of the multiplication, and a 90 inside of the second part of the addition. Great. Now inside the else statement, we will set our acceleration direction, come to operators, grab the abs of, set it to a tan. Okay. Excuse me. Grab a division, put it inside. Put X acceleration at the second half, and put Y acceleration in the first part of the division. Then we will come to controls, grab an if statement, put it underneath that set acceleration direction. I'm going to duplicate this to put it in here and set the equals to a less than. If x acceleration is less than 0, we will change our acceleration direction by 180, which will turn it around. Perfect. Now, go down 2 brackets. And so down 1 bracket, 2 bracket. Set our acceleration direction. Come to operators, grab a subtraction, put it here. Set 90 at the first bubble. And set acceleration direction at the second. Perfect. We're now going to create a new variable and call it torque. That is not how you spell torque. Call it torque. Just like that. We will then set our torque to, and again, it's going to get a little bit confusing here, maybe just a little bit. Come to operators. Oop, no. Come to operators, grab a multiplication, put it there. Acceleration magnitude goes in the first bubble. Come to operators, grab an abs of, set the abs to sign. Grab a subtraction symbol, put it in the bubble of the sign. Go to variables, grab acceleration direction, put it in the first bubble of the subtraction. Come to motion, grab your direction bubble and put it in the second bubble of the subtraction. Good. Now come to variables, grab your change variable by, and you'll be changing our x velocity by, we will come to our operators, grab a multiplication symbol, and put a subtraction symbol in the second bubble. We will come to our variables, grab our x acceleration, put it in the first bubble here. In the second bubble, we will put a 1. And in the third bubble, we will put our air drag. Excuse me. Duplicate that velocity, x velocity, and change it to a y velocity. And everything stays the same here, except we'll change x acceleration to y acceleration, just like that. Now we'll grab another change by, and we'll change our angular velocity. Come to your operators, grab a multiplication, put it here. Go to variables, grab torque, put it in the first bubble, and put a 4 in the second bubble. Just like that. Okay. Now, you can set this to whatever you'd like. I'm going to do a space key though, so we'll put oh my goodness, if else statement underneath here. And this is where you'll do it. I'm going to do space key, you can set it to whatever you'd like. If space key pressed, you will set your x velocity. Come to your operators, grab a multiplication, put it inside. Make the first number 0.82. And make the second one, go to your variables, grab x velocity, and put it inside just like that. I'll duplicate this now. And then now we'll be setting our y velocity. Set our y velocity to 0.82 and change this x velocity to y velocity. One more set, we will set our angular velocity, and we will set it to duplicate this once again. Set your y velocity to angular velocity, just like that. Inside this else statement, we're going to duplicate what we just made. Keep everything the same except change the 0.82 to a 0.96. Just like that. Oh, sorry, except for your angular velocity. That goes to 0.92. That goes to 0.92. Cool. Now we will come to our motion, grab a change x by, put it all the way underneath this. Come to your operators, grab a multiplication, put it inside. Go to your variables, grab your x velocity, put it in the first bubble, and put a 0.4 in the second bubble. Go ahead, duplicate it, change your change x to change y by. Change your y by y velocity times 0.4. Come into your motion and grab your turn right. And we'll be turning right. Grab a multiplication symbol and put it inside. We'll be changing it by angular velocity times 1.02. Again, these numbers can be messed with if you want to change up the settings a little bit. These are just what seem to work the nicest. Now, we will come to our control. Grab an if-then statement, put it there. Grab operators. Grab your equals. Oh, I don't know what's in my throat right now. In the second bubble, put a 0. And in the first bubble, put your x velocity. Inside, we will then set our velocity direction. Oop, not a difference. Our velocity direction. Have we not made a velocity direction yet? I don't think. Oh, I'm actually stupid. I'm sorry. Our velocity difference that we have is not difference. Again, we did this with the other one too. It's direction. Just rename your velocity difference to velocity direction. I'm sorry. So, oh, I need a cough. I'm sorry. Okay, excuse me there. I had to do that. Okay, yes, we are still recording. So, we will be changing our velocity direction. If I could find it. There it is. And again, we're going to get a little bit confusing here, but again, I think you can handle it. Put an addition problem in, or not problem, I guess it'd be formula. Put a multiplication in the first bubble of the addition. Right? Grab an abs of, put it in the first bubble of the multiplication. Put x velocity in the abs. Ooh, we forgot. Okay, I figured it out. Sorry. Put a division inside of the multiplication. Just like that. Okay. Now put that abs and velocity inside of the first part of the division. There we go. Duplicate your x velocity, put it in the second part of the division. And then, if you remember from before, multiplied by 90, added by 90. Now, in your else, we will come to variables, set our velocity direction. So once you find it, there it is. 2, what we're going to do is we are going to come to operators, grab our abs of, set abs to atan, just like that. Grab division, put it inside, put x velocity in the second bubble, and put y velocity in the first bubble. Then we will come to controls, grab an if statement and put it underneath. I'm going to duplicate this equals and set the equals to a less than. If x velocity is less than 0, we will change velocity direction, there it is, by 180 to turn it around. We're getting close to the end. Then we will set underneath 2 brackets, so 1 bracket down, 2 bracket down. We will set our velocity direction. Come to your operators, grab a subtraction and put it inside. Put 90 in the first bubble. And put velocity direction in the second bubble. Now we will grab an if-else statement and put it underneath. We're getting close to the end, guys. I promise. You believe me, right? You believe me we're getting close to the end, right? Surely you believe me. You ready? Here we go. Come into operators, grab a greater than symbol and put it inside. Grab an abs of and put it in the first bubble. Grab a subtraction symbol and put it in the abs. Now, put a 180 in the opposite side, or I guess on the right side of the less or the greater than symbol. Come to list, grab velocity direction, put it in the first bubble. Grab acceleration direction, where there it is, and put it in the second bubble. Just like that. Now we will set our angular difference to go to your operators, grab a subtraction symbol, put it in like that. Grab your abs of, put it in the second bubble, and grab another subtraction and put it in the abs. Put 360 for a 360 rotation in the first bubble. And this is abs of your velocity direction, not a comment, of your velocity direction minus your acceleration direction. Great. Or else we will take this, put it in here, set our angular difference to the same thing. Just take the 360 minus out. So it's just abs of velocity direction minus acceleration direction. And then we are going to set up the actual, skidding right now. So this one's really quick. It's really quick. We'll grab an if statement and put it underneath. We will grab a greater than symbol. Grab a multiplication symbol and put it in the first bubble. Go to your variables, grab your angular difference, put it in the first bubble, and grab your acceleration magnitude, put it in the second bubble, and then finally in the last bubble, put a 34. We will then switch the costume to skid. Okay. You will need to come down here to your extensions, add the pen extension, and choose stamp. Okay. And then switch your costume to car. Perfect. That's the main big bulk of this code. Now, another thing you're going to want to do is grab another green flag clicked and come to your pen and go erase all, just so it erases all the skid marks when you restart. And then another thing I do is underneath the green flag click, I start by pointing in direction 0. Considering you made your car facing the same direction mine is. And then you could always go to 0, 0 to put your car in the middle, which is what I'll do. And then choose set a size or something like that. But that's really all you need to do. So, if we take a look at what we have, if everything went according to plan, I guess we should probably start by setting the actual, setting the costume to car when we first start. So you see we got our car here. We can move him forward. Now I'm moving, we can turn. And as we turn around, you see we can move around just like that. And do some skids. Seems I have some of my math a little bit off. I'm going to go ahead and look through that. You see we can do some little spins around like this. Very, very nice. See, I have my skidding just a little bit off. I'm going to go ahead and check that. But here is our car physics. Everything is looking pretty nice. It doesn't seem I can move in one direction, so I'm going to do a little bit of fixing. Make sure yours is moving like this too. At the very least, I think I know where I messed up. I just have to go fix it real quick. Well, here's one mistake. Right at the top, this second 10, so you have 10, negative 10, negative 10, 0. The second negative 10 needs to be a 10, so we'll start off with that, and who knows, maybe that'll fix the whole thing. So there we go, we can go in this direction. Now if I want to change, there we go. At least now I can spin in the other direction. There we go. So that's good. Looks like, again, my skid is a bit messed up. I can make it do it at sometimes. So I'll keep looking around for that. Okay, everybody. Are we recording? Yes. Okay. Figured out our issue. So our issue comes around to this number right here. Based on the size of how big your sprite is, this number will need to be tweaked. Okay, so we were at 34, because that's what it is on our sample project. And we check if it's not, if you're moving like this in a circle by holding up and left, up and down, right? And you're moving in the circle like you would be, doing a donut. And your skid mark isn't showing up. What you need to do is that means your car is larger than it normally is. So what you should do is lower this number. Okay? Or I guess you could probably just change the size, but I'm going to lower the number. What I found is that 23 will trigger it for me. So if I set it to 23 based on the size that my vehicle is, and then I do it, you'll see that the skid mark begins to show. And then if I end it, it'll stop. And then continue it just like that. By the way, if you want to know what the space did, that is just a brake. It just slows down the car. So that's all that did. But there we go. Very simple fix. It's the small things sometimes that you don't notice. And honestly, I actually kind of enjoy mistakes I make in these tutorials because it just gives me opportunities to show you that, hey, mistakes are normal, guy. They're nothing to worry about. Everyone makes them. But yeah, there are your simple little car physics. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, then like it. If you didn't like it, I don't care. You're going to like it anyways because I think this is a nice little fun tutorial and I think people could make some pretty cool stuff with it. So yeah, once again, thank you to ErnieParke for the engine. Check out my socials, link in the description. Maybe you'll find something else that I do that would intrigue your interest. Join Discord, link in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.